For my first years of teaching, I felt like I was really letting some students down. I didn't know how to challenge my students that needed challenging, and I wasn't meeting the students that needed the additional support.
A lot of teachers went to school to learn how to teach the 80%. They don't necessarily feel like they have the skills to meet all students.
Students were separated. When they were pulled out, there was, like, oh, that's the special education room.
Like something's almost kind of wrong with them for needing to be pulled out.
Our data would show that it's not working for each student, so how can we better do that?
How do you create a shift? Because it's a total mindset shift.
Inclusionary practices is figuring out ways that each student will learn and designing instruction that way.
Inclusion is no conditions. You are a part of the group no matter what, and we value you and we care about you without condition.
And nobody wants to come and just kind of be shoved off to the side and kind of have to do their own thing just because there's something that they struggle with. Inclusionary practices, at least to me, it's everybody gets a seat at the table.
For me, the real foundation of the inclusionary practices is that every student feels like a learner.
If they feel comfortable walking into a classroom, they're going to succeed. If they don't, and they feel like they're different or they're treated different, that's when it gets difficult.
Inclusionary practices and this idea of the Universal Design for Learning framework, it's not just to support students that may have barriers or gaps, it's also to extend and make expert learners out of students that may already be doing really well. Just being really intentional about knowing your students, knowing the barriers that they may have, and then thinking about how can we remove those barriers so that all students can access the same learning.
The first day I do a lot of modeling because it's really important for students to still have that modeling. But then on the next days while we're practicing the reading skills, there's a lot more choice in there.
But if you get a chance to really kind of just float around and look at what's going on each student's desk, you go, oh, wow, okay. They're working on the same thing, they're just working on it 20 different ways.
I've noticed that students are picking up the language much faster than, if you were to be separated from students that speak, the native language.
Kids have an opportunity to share their strategy for solving a problem, even though their peers may approach a situation from a different perspective. They can all arrive at the same answer.
It all sounds great in theory, right? That's why we're doing it. But, we have consulting teachers to help talk with teachers about what, universal design for learning and being inclusionary looks like within certain subject areas. We have them coordinating visits to other classrooms. We have our professional learning communities talking about what it's looking like in their class. And just that. I think the great power comes from, teachers learning from each other and, through sharing experiences and struggles and successes. And I think that's what will help push us to the next level of success with this.
I feel like we've brought kids back into the equation.
It really is for all students. It's going to benefit every single student in our district.
Everybody needs something different, but they're getting what they need in that classroom.
We're going away from that's your kid. This kid is special needs. This kid reads at this level. This kid does that. And we're really coming to this point here where it's like, we're a team. These are our kids.